Match Tuesday here as we're jumping into the ace match. CJ Entis and Samsung, the rematch of Hero versus Deer.
This should be an excellent match. I feel like Deer is pissed. You know, he had such a close game with Hero where he, you know, I would argue really had that game won, like big time. The trend continues here as Monday Caster slash Chaser goes for Hero, and the rest of us are going for Deer. He lost the match earlier, but he really had it won. He had it in the bag. He just messed up some control. He made a Phoenix, a bit of weird stuff going on.
The first match was 7-0. This time it's 6-1. We still have faith in Deer. Let's see if he can do it up against Hero. Down here in the bottom right in the red from CJ Entis, it is Hero.
And up here at the top in blue, it is Deer. Representing Samsung here in this ace match. I feel like when I look at this PvP last year, anyone would look at this and be like how did they get to the ace match? Like, how could Deer ever scratch Hero in a PvP? But now, it's like Deer is the master, and Hero is the apprentice almost. With when it looks at when you look at like results this season, Deer is just far more consistent. I think Deer is going to be one of the strongest players going into the summer season, second season of GSL and Star League. Like when we get summer season started, I think Deer is definitely something to look out for.
Deer's still over there at GSL 2, round of 8. I think he's playing up against Lucira, if I'm not mistaken.
So I mean, look at that as well. But I mean, just keeping it. I mean, talking about like mostly like Star League. I just really think this guy's going to go far. I mean, the GSL is proof alone that he will, right? Like because he's already in the round of 8. And I'd say most people would favor him versus Lucira, but Lucira had a great group. Before we get too much outside of this particular best of one, it is a 2-gate opening for both players. They are cross spawns and a faster scout for Deer, which means whatever build he's choosing, it looks like he wants to know what he's up against, or rather what the location is before he commits to it.
Maybe want to expand faster. You see Hero has taken more and more gas. I think Deer's just going for 2 on each gas by the looks of it, whereas Hero is mining 3 from each for a very long time. Let's see if these players decide to make 2 out of the 2 gates. Sometimes you see Adepts, sometimes you see Stalker, sometimes you see a mix, like an Adept and a Sentry. We've seen that before. Try to get the hallucination out on a big map. But here it's just 2 Stalkers for Deer and 2 Adepts for Hero.
Yeah, I like the Stalker choice for the Scout that Deer's putting off. Because he's going to already see what's going on, whereas for Hero, because he saved his extra minerals and didn't scout, which he needed the extra minerals because, like you said, he was going 6 gas versus 4. You know, the Adepts are going to give him a confirmation scout. Like, this probe will probably be killed, but the Adept Shades should be able to see what's going on. All this probe will see is the scout, the location, and it's the Stalker build, but the Adepts might be able to confirm, like, is he also going Stargate? What's going on in the base?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we'll see how the Stargate works out. If he can get ahead, like let's say Deer makes a later Stargate and the boats start going Phoenixes, that'll definitely work out for Hero in the long run. But if, you know, maybe Deer makes a bunch more Stalkers, maybe he commits to like 6 and goes very aggressive. He is making 2 more. So if he puts on the pressure here against a Stargate build where there's only like maybe 2 Phoenixes out, could definitely do a bit of damage here against Hero. I mean, they are at cross spawns, but he's already got 2 across the map, 2 more joining up, and he's putting down his own Nexus.
Pylon saves the day, finishes up here, and ward this off, and actually cost Deer quite a bit of shields. This Twilight Council coming up with all these Stalkers, I've got this, you know, twitch in my elbows telling me we're going Blink Stalker as the opening for Deer. This is going to be scouted by these Adepts. I like that Hero keeps the Adepts over here because he has the Pylon for safety to hold onto his Nexus. Just constantly shading. It's like more effective than a hallucination scout. He wants Deer to have every stalker across the map so his Oracle can find damage. This pylon is going to go down, and this Nexus is going to take a lot of damage.
Boy. There's no pylon down here at the bottom of the ramp, and that Mothership core does have enough energy, but with more stalkers, there's 8 stalkers on the map, right? There's going to be a Mothership core back at home for Deer to hold the Oracle, and he is going to be able to cancel this Nexus. I would have to believe 8 stalkers to just 3.
Yeah,
he needs to get a pylon up here.
This Adept was trying to buy time, but the Mothership core is going to take a ton of damage. May go down. There it does. And this pylon's going to go down as well, and Deer in excellent position. That Oracle finds no damage. There's the cancel on the pylon and the Nexus, and the Stalkers are able to walk up the ramp.
Deer is massively ahead now. He may just be able to fight here. He is going to tries to attack that Warping and Stalker, and he's going to take a lot of damage for it.
Yeah, maybe overextending a little bit here, but here comes the next round of 2 Stalkers. And he has a Nexus at home, and he has Blink. Like, this isn't going to last very long. This Oracle's trying to, like, stasis a Stalker. he's like, maybe if I, like, put the stasis down, I'll get 1 Stalker that'll help me live. Hero's not only down in economy, he's down in bases. He will be able to maybe kill some Stalkers here.
Deer.
They're stasised, so he can't move them.
Yeah. No, but, like, he's not going to protect them either, even though it's 10 to 8. I mean, I guess he can't really know. He's just going to play it safe.
Yeah, I think this is the right choice. He can blink with him and maybe escape, actually. Let's see how quickly he reacts.
It's not going to come out here in time. So just going to try to delay. It's going to take a lot of damage here, of course. Nice move, even though like Deer saw the stasis ward coming down. I guess he didn't remember it. And going to take a bunch of damage here.
There's like a lot going on in this game. But I think the key is like he could have fought over the Stalkers, but maybe that's a bad fight for him. Hero's the one who's forced to take risks, and he already has a Nexus, so I like this choice of just backing off. But this Oracle, the build he chose, 3 kills. Yeah, it says 0 kills, but like he killed 3 Stalkers with it. That's all he got. And his economy, he lost a base. He had to cancel a Nexus. And Deer now has Blink, and the follow-up attack is going to be powerful.
Oh boy. 13 Stalkers to 8 and a couple of sentries. The Oracle isn't going to do much. It's over here harassing. Now, there is no pylon in position. Would have loved to see him put one behind the mineral line, but here we go. Stalkers coming in. There is a pylon nearby, too. Overcharge does come down. Going to buy some time, but look at this. No defense.
Yeah, this could do a lot of damage over here. He doesn't have a ton of energy, but he has enough to really hurt this mining. Deer's actually looking for an opportunity here. Barrier force on this Immortal actually kind of wasted there. More Stalkers coming in. Deer wants to commit to this. A big blink forward with half of his Stalkers onto the Immortal. It does go down, but he's fighting against this army with under overcharge.
Yeah, doing a bunch of damage to the Mothership core too. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. More and more Warpins coming in here, and the Guardian Shield really, really helping out here.
He needs to blink away, but he's on cooldown. Okay, a few of them do escape. This is going to be a better trade for Hero overall. And they do finally escape. Their Oracle comes back a bit on move command. Oops. But he stopped mining at this base for so long, and I think that does bring Hero back into this game. And these Stalkers are really going to struggle to do damage now with this second Immortal coming out. All that lost mining time. I think we're about even here now in this 5th and final ace match here.
Yeah, pretty close. You know, Deer is ahead 9 probes, now 7. But Hero definitely has the better tech, more Immortals coming out here, whereas Deer only just now got up that robotics facility and is going to be finally pumping some Immortals here in just a bit, I would have to imagine. There we go.
He's going to take a 3rd Nexus with all that extra mining that he had and all the extra money that he had for the better probe count. Immortal and Nexus going up here. Hero is going to follow suit. Going to take him a little bit longer as he doesn't have that money right now. And he did lose that Mothership core earlier and wants to remake that. Otherwise, maybe he dies to a crazy Blink Stalker all in off 2 base, off like 6 gates or something. As he gets his Immortals out as well. So yeah, slight lead for Deer in economy, a slight lead for Hero in tech, and a very close game here as a result. A delayed Oracle makes its way onto the map here, and I think he's going to save that for any move out Deer sends across the map. Then he's going to try to punish that. We have faster Disruptor tech coming out for Deer, so even though he had the later Immortals, he will have the Disruptors first.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how much damage this can do. All the Stalkers going to the 3rd base, and the Mothership core is in the main. So he needs to get the overcharge onto this pylon. Very nicely placed, but it's not there just yet. And here comes the Oracle. Going to have to pull all of those probes away. Getting a nice 5 kills so far. And is going to try to back off here, blink from the Stalkers, but 5 kills. Not bad. Getting himself back into this game.
Yeah, the worker count's even now, 47 to 47. Deer, faster forge. He's going to have the better upgrades. The disruptor, you know, actually it's at the same time for both as I say that. My apologies, everybody. But he does have the faster disruptor tech. That much is true. And I'm wondering when Hero's going to add that. They both start +1 at almost the exact same time. Hero's slightly faster. And he's adding Phoenixes into his composition. And
that's really interesting. I mean, you can lift all the Immortals, I suppose, but generally you are going against big Stalker counts in this matchup. Generally it's like Blink, Stalker, Disruptor, and the Immortals don't play too big of a role, so I guess you could try to lift Disruptors, but at the same time, so many Blink Stalkers on the map.
Exactly. There's just so much support for the Disruptors. Anything on the ground he's trying to lift, the Immortals, whichever way he wants to go about it. I like the charge. Temporal Archive's going to get a faster Archon composition out. May even try to go for Storm Drops if this game goes longer, because we're cross spawns and it's PvP. You don't usually see players end the game offer us a small advantage because, I mean, even as we saw in the early game, like, Deer tried to, and Hero's defense was so solid. That's just how PvP works. You have the defender's advantage. Units are so powerful in this matchup. But
I like the Dark Shrine, actually, from Deer a bit better. I mean, DTs are so nice, especially on a map this big. It is going to be hard to get pylons down, but of course he is making that Warp Prism now to try to, you know, get them in position, maybe drop them into the main or perhaps the third or even the natural, because there's no cannons out here for Hero. Not a single one. He does have the Forge, but you're going to have to start adding cannons, especially on a map this big. You move out, DTs come in, and it's really, really potent in this matchup. We see it a lot.
All right, so I'm just really trying to figure out what Hero's got planned here with these Phoenixes. He's hiding them. They also will, if a Warp Prism went that way to the south, would kill it. He keeps like stopping Phoenix production temporarily. Oh, he's even got one up here to the top, so he is blocking both sides of the Phoenixes. He stopped Phoenix production temporarily, he started it again, and he's making... Like, he stopped Immortal production for a while, and he was going only Archon, so I was thinking, oh, he just wants to do an Archon AoE composition instead, but now he started that again. This drop with 4 DTs in it is going to come over. He has both an Oracle and an Observer, so there shouldn't find much damage, and he can't run away because there's just so much chasing with the Phoenix build here for Hero. And one reveal does get lifted, the other one taken out as well. Fleet Beacon coming up for Hero. He wants to turn this into an air battle.
And he may be able to successfully do that. I mean, on a map this big, I keep mentioning it, but you have so much room. The Phoenixes, with their mobility, are going to be quite nice. And it seems like both players don't really want to make too many Disruptors. Only one has come out for Deer, but maybe he noticed something in the army of Hero where he's like, we're not doing Disruptor this game. Like, Hero has declared no Disruptors in this one. We're just going to play a clean battle, no explosions, just Archons, Immortals, and I suppose eventually a bunch of air units.
I guess with this Fleet Beacon, he's actually going Mothership instead of Anion Pulse Crystals. The Phoenixes, you know, this small group of them will be very powerful throughout this mid-game because nobody can kill each other. But he hasn't accomplished, he's literally accomplished killing a Warp Prism with them. Otherwise, they've done nothing. And we'll see what happens later, but I do like this Mothership. That's where I look at this investment and I go, okay, this makes sense. I can get behind this. He has some Phoenixes. Maybe he's going to snipe the Observers with that. And then, like, he's got Cloak, so it's hard for Deer to fight. I can get behind that. I can use, okay, it synergizes a little bit with the Phoenixes. Both players taking a 4th base. I mean, a little bit faster for Hero. He's only mining gas from it, which is the important resource here, especially when he's going almost pure Archon.
Yeah.
And a Mothership. So
it's going to be interesting when these two armies do clash, because I do like the army of Hero a lot better, but Deer seems to think otherwise. Maybe he hasn't seen this Mothership, but here we go. Gonna charge in now. He's got less Archons, but more Zealots in the front, which Hero's very deftly just sniping and kiting back. And here comes the Mothership.
Don't forget the Disruptor, and that's the key here. Barrier is popped. That's like the one unit we're not talking about. It is going to go down, it looks like, after this. Blink to the left here from Deer as he tries to fight this. And here come the Phoenix Lips. He's making them work.
Yeah, really, really nice lifts, but more and more warp-ins coming on the high ground here from Deer, and now the Immortals do drop down, barriers are popped, and more Zealots coming in here. I think Deer is going to win this, a forced recall.
Yep, and that's going to cost them even an Archon and a few Phoenixes that get left behind. The idea of the Phoenix is, you can see it, he lifts the Immortals, he waits for a little while. The Disruptor didn't really turn the fight there. The Mothership helping out a little bit here as well with the Cloak, and some extra damage even to finally finish off that Immortal. But, you know, this has been mostly, I think, a better comp for Deer. He had less Archons, which I was kind of worried about, but now he's making more. Hero's going to transition to his Disruptor tech, taking the second Robo right now.
Yeah, as Deer transitions into Stargate tech, getting his first Stargate out on the map. And maybe he wants to get his own Mothership out on the map. I mean, I suppose he could possibly just go into his own Phoenixes or maybe even some other area units too, but
Tempest,
kind of interesting.
Tempest, I think, are like it's a bit too soon for that.
Maybe SOS carriers, add that into your composition.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a giant map. Anything really could happen. These players do have a ton of gas mining.
Hero is going to be down a whole upgrade with a +3 very soon as this drop comes in. +3 finishes, going to make this drop tougher to defend, and you know, if it's even in Zealots, he's going to win that fight because of it. Going to be tough to engage here with that Mothership and those Photon cannons, but look, he has to warp in more defensive Zealots as that Archon is messing with the priority here on them. Oh, 6 save.
And save them. I think he wants to bring that Warp Prism over and warp in again and possibly attack. And he's just going to attack without the Warp Prism. Here he goes. He's got a bigger army, but kind of hesitant to go for it. It is kind of scary. You know, the big concave now for Hero near his fort base.
He has 2 Warp Prisms, actually. He's got one behind his army and then this one, so he can still reinforce on that high ground. This Warp Prism will be cleaned up and a solid defense, but he forced Warp-ins away from the fight. Hero has his own Disruptors now. He has 2 of them, and he's got 2 more on the way, so he's going to have 4 shortly. So keep that in mind. I mean, there's a lot of AoE damage that can wipe these Zealots. It's a mostly Zealot composition from Deer. Zealot Archon with a few Immortals at the back.
Here we go. Zealots charging mostly onto the cannons and then going for the army. Let's see how these Disruptor shots out of Hero go. It looks like now Deer going to try to split in here and possibly attack those probes, but finally, here we go. Time Warp's coming down, the Disruptor shots coming out.
They have to be good.
Archons.
They have to be good Disruptor shots because he's down a whole set of upgrades here. The Cloak is not doing him any favors. Still a close fight. Immortals over here trying to use their range as an advantage. The Phoenixes are not fighting. The Archons of Deer are all stuck on each other. They're not able to fight. Phoenixes pick up 2 Immortals. More charged Zealots coming in. The supplies are even right now.
Such a close fight. These Zealots being warped in are going to decide it here. Who gets the better trade?
And the upgrade's going to make that a lot easier for Deer. And he's going to start to win this fight. +3 versus +2. He's winning it.
The pickups from the Phoenixes do end, and the Immortals do drop down. More and more pickups here, and even the Mothership getting into the fight here. But more and more warp-ins. 3 Archons just warped in by Deer.
Deer lost his observers. He lost his observers. He doesn't have detection anymore. He's making another observer right now. He's making another Oracle. He needs more detection to fight this. That's what kept Hero alive. That Mothership, he killed the observers. The crazy idea, like the theory crafting I was doing earlier about, you got the Phoenixes, they do lifts, they kill the observers. That is what saved Hero, but he's still going to take economic damage here potentially as the stack comes in. And there's a recall available for Deer, so he doesn't have to worry about like committing and overextending into this position where the Disruptors are there. Looks like he will escape without having to use that recall. This game is crazy.
He wants that feedback on that Mothership core. That 1 High Templar from Hero is going out, actually. He's going for it.
Oh my god. Okay, it looks like it's off camera. It will be warded away by these Stalkers.
Oh, there we go.
It would have been so tragic if he got that off and stopped the recall and caught him here. A bunch of Stalkers being warped in for Deer as well, I think potentially to help deal with that Mothership. And oh, look at this. DT's doing damage.
Mothership there to save it, but again, doing a bit of damage to the economy. Going to slowly get him ahead here in this fight, just picking away at Hero from every different angle. Now 55 to 40 probes, Deer in the lead, and he's taken another base in the meantime.
Looks like he's just going to come over here and pick off another pylon, going to stop some defensive warp-ins from being used. Oh, accidentally kills one of his own Zealots. But the trades are always better for Deer because, like you said, he's got a 5th base coming up. Still, +3 to +2. Hero hasn't started it. He has money for it, but like if he uses the money for that, then he has less units, and then he maybe dies, so he just can't get it. You're stuck at a catch-22 here, where Deer is significantly ahead of you. unpowers some more gates. Stalkers are coming in. There's attack on the army. He wants blood.
That revelation is huge. These Stalkers want to attack that Mothership, but it's so hard to find the angle. I love how he's poking with these Blink Stalkers. It's really, really nice before the fight even goes down.
I mean, he's just getting further and further ahead slightly.
DT's going to the third base with the Stalkers. He's going to try to snipe that cannon.
Oh, but he might get caught with these Stalkers. Okay, he's got a Blink path on the left side. He's going to be out of position with them, but he can retreat. Meanwhile, Hero is actually having to fight here. With the cannon killed, the DTs are going to force warp into the DT's killing the Immortal. And let's see if Deer can win this fight. Remember, he has +3 to +2.
He's coming in here. It looks like he's got less units, but he still wants to take the fight. Trying to get on top of that Mothership, but he's lost his observers. Mothership core goes down for Deer. He's on the retreat. He's warping in more Stalkers.
Here comes that Observer, another one in the army here. Archon's doing so well versus the Zealots, regardless of the deficit and upgrades. And all those Stalkers I was talking about earlier went down as well. Deer has 28 army supply to 69, and this is Hero's opportunity to win this game if he goes across the map right now.
He needs to attack. I think that attack by Deer while he was harassing was not a good idea. He lost way too many units when he had half his army harassing. And that gets Hero right back into the game. I don't care what his economy is at. If he can kill a Deer right now.
Yeah, if you win a PvP fight in late game like this, you can't just remake 8 Archons, you know? Looks like he's going to just let this base go. He's trying to avoid fighting and get his army back up with his better economy.
That's a good idea. I mean, he's got an extra base. He knows that Hero himself does not. He's just trying to warp in more and more stuff. Still got mining going on.
This army is almost pure Archon. It's 8 Archons, and Stalkers are going to be really good versus that because they can just outrun and out-kite the Archons. So he's making almost pure Stalkers with his extra economy. I really like this. I think that's a Disruptor in the Warp Prism as well.
Oh! Decent Disruptor hit there, and the Probes look like they want to get some action in here. Maybe trying to go for the surround on Hero's army.
Oh, this is actually crazy. The thing is, the Probes aren't going to accomplish much. They're just going to die to that Archon Splash. He's taking way too much damage. He's caught out here. Again, up in upgrades, but down in army supply. He needs more time. He's trying to buy it. Oh, a great time warp.
Blinking in, and here come the Probes, too. Just tanking a little bit. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think Deer should be taking this fight, but he's going to take it regardless. He kills the Mothership, but he's lost everything. He's down to 10 supply in army. And he sighs, and that's it. GG!
Hero takes the win again against Deer. Not what we expected. And he keeps CJ Entis' hopes alive of getting to the playoffs in round number 2.
Hero's so happy with that win. I can see what he said there. Like, he said, oh, it was so hard. I barely won. You know, he knows that was a hard-fought game. It was down in upgrades that entire time. And just one small edge in the fight in army supply. Deer was trying to blink around, buy time, but his army got caught and trapped. He had to fight. He fought with probes. He was trying to build that Stalker army up to kite the Archons, to blink away from the Disruptor shots. What a great decision to make there from Hero, knowing I've got just enough edge. I need to win this game now. I'm down in economy. If I kill his army, I win. That's it. He'll never be able to remake. Very smart choice.
That was really fantastic by him. Deer, obviously not going to be too happy from today, taking 2 losses against Hero and not being the ace for his team when they needed him. I feel like a couple of big mistakes in that game for sure. Attacking with half his army while he was harassing was one of them. The blink in with all of his blink Stalkers against the Overcharge and the Immortal and the Mothership core was not. I feel like he could have microed a bit. He was ahead back at home. But either way, I mean, the Deer not looking as solid as normal, and that's going to give CJ the win.
Yep. A 3-2 score. They get just the +1 indicator, but still, I think one of the key points of this is, actually there's 2 things I want to take away from this match is Hero wins 2 important PvPs against someone who's been doing much better than him recently, and also Ragnarok picks up a win. That's going to be great for CJ's confidence. Even still, they're at 1 and 2 with a -4 indicator, so they need to do better than this, but this is still a great starting point for them in round 2. Yeah. Or like, I guess That's not what I mean to say. Not to say it's a great starting point, but it's like it could be much worse. Like if they didn't win today,
they'd be 0-3.
Yeah, they'd be.
You don't want to be in that place.
They'd be 0-3 at -5 if they lost the ace match.
Yeah. Well, here we go, guys. Maru and Zest winning their games tonight. Jin Air goes up to 3-0, by the way, and +6. Another big thing for round number 2. Hero moves up 8 spots, gets 2 wins tonight, and goes to 6-3, where Deer was after his first loss. Now Deer at 6-4.
That's what I like to see from Hero. That's where he belongs. This is